Already see that there's quite a lot of you now who has already joined into the live stream. We have Uncle Social, we have Sam, we also have Wayne. Good to see you. Daniel as well has just joined us. We're also on Facebook, by the way. We're on the Elegant Themes Facebook page. So if you prefer watching the show on that, you can also view it on that. Otherwise, we're also on Facebook, on YouTube. Okay, we also have Daryl Wilson. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so the feature we're talking about today is the drag and drop a file upload for Divi. I was playing with this feature over the weekend, and you know what? It is really, really exciting, and I can't wait to show you how this feature works. So basically what it is you can drag files from your computer straight onto the builder, and the builder detects what sort of file it is and creates a module around that. So it is really, really cool. And the most important thing as well is with this feature, it allows you to work really, really fast. So the example I can give here is, let's say you're designing a website, you're an agency or a freelancer, and you're designing a website for a client, and they've provided you with all the content that you need. That is the images, maybe the audio file, the text files, and also maybe images for the gallery. So what you could actually do is drag all these files straight onto the builder, and the builder sorts everything out. And I'll be showing you this in this live stream. Excellent. All right. So if you have any questions throughout this live stream, please do drop your questions in the comments box, and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. Great. All right. So let's get started. So I'm just going to pull my folder here from my desktop and start the demo. Right, so over here, just on my basic WordPress install. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by creating a brand new page. So I'm going to come over here, click on Add New. Right, so in fact, let me zoom in so we can see more of this. Right, so here I can just add my title for my page. I'll just call this drag and drop. And then I'm going to click on Use Divi Builder. Okay, so now I can just go to start from scratch, and then I'm just going to close this. So the next stage now is to find the files that you need to add onto your builder. So what I've done ahead of time is I've added all the files I'm going to use in today's tutorial on this into this folder here. So let's start off by doing the basics. So let's say I want to add an image onto my builder. So all I have to do is to find my image, drag it onto the builder, just like that. It'll take a while. And there we go. So my image now has been added onto my builder. And this is an image module. And how do I know it's an image module? Because over here on the left, I can actually see that I have all my options that I need to play around with. So you can go ahead now and go into maybe the background, add a background color just by doing that. Right, my computer is a bit slow. This is strange. Okay, so you know what I've just done? I've tried to add a background onto this image. That's why it's not working. Okay, so I'm just going to save this image module. And then let's say I want to add a background to this section. I can always come over here to the section and add my background just by doing that. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to just drag and drop the file. Now, let's try a different file. So I'm just going to close this for now. And I'm going to come back over here and show you which file I'm dragging onto the page. So this time I'm going to drag a file, just a normal text file, which has some HTML in the actual file. So again, I'm just going to click, drag, and then just drop it on the Divi Builder. And you can see here that it's been added. And this is a text module. So you can go in and further adjust this. So maybe let's say you want to reduce the size of this text module. You can always come over here to sizing, reduce the width just by doing that, and maybe even center it just like that. Okay. So as you can see, as soon as I entered all my my modules, they came in as the actual modules that I need to do the editing. So this is really, really cool. Right, so let's talk about the files that you're able to use this drag and drop feature with. So first of all, these files need to have the right extensions, because I noticed that there were people that were asking, or rather they were saying that the drag and drop wasn't working for their CSS. So for the CSS to work, or for the CSS file to work, it needs to have the extension of a .css. So let's say you've styled your page. The final CSS file needs to be a .css, not a .text. Otherwise, that wouldn't work. So you need to pay attention to that. So the files that we can upload using this drag and drop feature are your CSS, HTML, GIF, JPEG, PNG, text, OTF, TTF, AVI, M4V, MOV, WMV, MP4, MP3, WAV, and JSON. Okay, so these are the files that are supported. Now, if you try to upload a file which is not supported, it'll just give you an error which tells you which files are supported. So that's one way of knowing which files are supported using this drag and drop feature. So I'm just going to take a quick look here and see if I have any questions. Right, I'm just trying to check here and make sure I don't have any questions before I proceed. Okay, cool. Looks like we don't have any questions. Right, so this is how we upload our files. So what I'm going to do next now is I'm just going to delete this by coming over here to the bottom and clicking this trash can. So everything is gone now. So what I'm going to do next, so let's say you want to upload a gallery. So in order for you to upload a gallery, what you need to do is to upload files, your image files in one go. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to choose these 3 files here. And then I'm just going to drag them onto my builder, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this away. So we can see now that this has automatically transformed my module into a gallery module. So now I can go in and make further adjustments. So let's say over here on the elements, I want to get rid of the pagination and also the title caption. I can go in and do that. And let's say you want to add your rows. You want to make adjustments to your rows. You can always go into your rows and make further adjustments into that. But the most important thing here is these files are detected by the builder, so it makes it easier for you to work with this. So this is really, really great. Okay, so let's say I come over here to the gutter width and reduce the gutter width. So you can see here, I've reduced the gutter width. So you can make all those changes that you normally make when you upload all your files onto the builder. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this for now. Now, the next example that I'm going to do is quite interesting, because I am just going to dump all the files that I need to build this actual page. So let me show you the workflow. So what you need to do is to select all the files that you need. So right now, as you can see, I've selected my 3 images. So that means I need a gallery. In fact, I need 4 images. Okay. So that's for my gallery. I'm also going to need, let's say, an MP3 file. So I'm going to select it here. And I also need a video. So I'm going to select my video. And I also need some text. So I'm going to choose my HTML text there. Okay. So let's say these are the files that make up all the contents that I need for this particular page. So I'm just going to drag all this in one go straight onto my page, and then you can see how the builder works. Right. So with all these selected, I'm just going to drag all these onto my builder now. And then I'm just going to move this over here to the side. Okay. So it's going to take a while it adds everything onto the builder. But you can see there in real time that everything is being added, which is really, really cool. Okay, so I think that's everything. Great. So now I can go in and make further customization. So let's say I want to add an overlay image here. So I can go here into my overlay, add my image by going to the media library. So I'm just going to select my image here, upload an image. Great. So now I have my image overlay. So I can go in and make further adjustments. But what I'm going to show you here is how quickly you can go in and customize this page really, really fast now that we have all the content on the page. Right, so let's further make adjustments here. So I'm going to save this because I'm happy with that. And then over here, I'm going to add a background color to my video. So this is going to be a light gray, a really dark gray. Save that. And then over here, let's say I want to make this width wider, so I can go in here into my row settings, click on design, and then I'm going to come over here to sizing. So we're going to make a custom width, and let's make it a percentage. So let's say 90%. That's fine. And then the gutter width also needs some adjusting. So in fact, we don't need to center that. So I'm going to search for my gutter width here. Select use gutter width, and I'm going to reduce this to maybe 2. Save that. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the actual gallery module by clicking this gear icon. So what I need to do here is I need to remove this pagination and also the page title and caption. So save that. So that's fine there. Now moving on to this next one. So first of all, I need to add a background here. So I'm going to click on my section settings, click on background, and then I'm going to select a background color. So over here, I'm going to use, let's say, really light gray, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and save. Right, so now I can go in here and also make some adjustments. So let's say quickly you want to add 2 tracks here. So what you can do is you can go into column structure here, divide this into 2 like that. And then now you can go into this module and make customizations to that. So first of all, I want to remove the background or maybe change the background color. Okay, so let's go with this as our background color. Save that. And then I can duplicate this, take it over here to the right. So now I have my tracks. Great. And then over here with the text as well, let's say I want to make adjustments to the column structure. I can always come here and then maybe choose 2/3, 1/3. And then on this 1/3 here, I can maybe add an image. So I'm just going to search for my image module. And then I'm going to find my image by clicking here, going to the media library, and let's use this as our main image. Okay. Great. So that's how quickly you can go in and start customizing, this page. And then over here on the top, I can just go ahead and delete that. Okay. And let's say you also want to drag these sections. You know how to do that. All you need to do is to choose or just click here on the top left to move the section, and then just drag it over here to the top if you want it to the top. But you can see here how quickly I managed to rearrange content just by quickly dragging all the content that I need on the page and then making further customization. So this is really, really cool. And I suggest that you start using this feature. If you're just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. We live stream every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. So this is a show where we talk about the latest features and show you how these features can be used in your design workflow. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask questions and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. All right, so I'm going to take a quick look here and see if we have any questions. It looks like there's quite a few comments here. Uncle Social said Mac just pronounced GIF with a J. Awesome. Right. Daryl here has a question, and the question is, what if we upload a JSON layout to this? Yes, that actually works, and that's going to be my next demonstration. So this is ideal if you want to share layouts. So let's say you've designed a layout and you want to share that layout with someone, or this particular layout needs to be used on multiple websites. You can go ahead and use this option. So let me go ahead. In fact, before I show you how to upload the JSON file, let me just go through here and see if there's anything that I can respond to quickly. Sam says, would you please try HTML and CSS file? I've already done the HTML, which I dragged onto the builder. I don't know if you noticed that, but it had all the titles, page titles, headings, sorry, all set up. So I did that in the actual file, and then I just uploaded it. And what happens is it takes all that formatting into your page. And the one I haven't done here is the CSS file, because I didn't get enough time to create the CSS file for this actual page. But the most important thing here for this to work is your CSS file has to have the extension of .css. So let's say it's style.css. It needs to have that extension, because if you don't have that extension, it won't work, because it won't recognize what type of file it is. Okay. Right. Great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the next demonstration, which is uploading a JSON file which has a layout onto the page. Right. So before I do that, in fact, let me just check here quickly on Facebook. Marco says, how does it look on the on a smartphone? Yes, what you need to do is just like the normal way you work in your Divi Builder, you have to go in and optimize these modules for different devices. Okay, so just because you upload these files onto the builder, it doesn't automatically make it mobile friendly. I mean, of course it does make it, mobile friendly, but you do need to go in and make further adjustments just to make sure that everything looks correct. Okay. Great. So let's continue. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to drop a JSON file onto this, and then let's see what happens. So first of all, I'm going to clear everything by just clicking this trash can here. Right, so everything is gone. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to drag a page which I exported while I was preparing for this. So this is a JSON file, and also you can see the extension here. This one is called drag and drop .json. So this is very important that this is a .json file. Right. So what this is going to do is, once I drag it onto the builder, it's going to pretty much load the page that I exported. So I'm going to drag it now onto my builder, just like that. And now we have this dialog box. So if you have any existing content, you can say replace existing content if you need to. And also, if you want to download a backup before importing, you can also go ahead and do that. But in this case, I don't need to do that because my page here is blank. So all I have to do now is click on import Divi Builder layout. So this again will take a while. So now we can see we have a check mark, which means everything is fine. And this is the layout that has been uploaded. Great. Then I'm just going to delete this top one here. Right, so this is the layout that has been uploaded. So it is a very fast way of sharing your layout. So let's say you have a giveaway and you want to share that layout with your subscribers or your customers or whatever it is, you can just give them this specific file, and they'll be able to load it just by dragging and dropping it onto their own page. Okay, so this is how quickly you can do it. Now, let me show you how to actually create the page. So if you come over here and click this portability icon, so straight away you can see we have export over here. So we can say Divi Builder layout, or we can give it whatever name we need. I'm going to put X in there, and then you can just click on export Divi Builder layout just by clicking that. Okay, I'm going to leave that. So now my file is being exported, and I can see here it's on the bottom right hand corner of my page. In fact, let me show you where it is. So if I click here, show in Finder, and there it is there. Okay, so that is how easy it is. Oh, you know what? This is crazy. I thought I was showing my screen, so I'll have to do this demo again. Oh, right. This is what happens when you do a live show. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Okay, right. So what we're going to do now is to load the JSON file. Right, so my JSON file is right here, and you can see it has the extension of a .json. So I'm just going to drag this layout onto my blank page just by dragging it like that. Move this out of the way. So all you have to do now is decide whether you're going to replace existing content or you want to download a backup before importing. So in this case, I don't need to download a backup and I don't need to replace anything. So I'm just going to go ahead now and click on import Divi Builder layout just by clicking here. So that's going to take a while, and it's going to start importing my page layout. There we go. So my layout has been imported. It has all the elements just like that. So that is how easy it is to load your layouts using this new feature, drag and drop file upload for Divi. Okay, so let's say you have a layout that you need to share with someone. So all you have to do is to come over here to this icon right here on the bottom, this portability icon. So you click on that. It has two options, either to export or to import. So let's say you want to export. So Divi Builder, let's just call this Mac, okay? And then all you have to do is to click on export Divi Builder layout. So that creates a file which then you can share by just sharing that file, and whoever receives it now can drag and drop it onto their blank page, and this loads the layout. And you can see here that the file has been created because it's on the bottom right hand here of my screen. In fact, let me show you where it is in my Finder. So there we go, Divi Builder Mac right here on the top. Okay, so that is how you drag and drop JSON files which have page layouts. Right, let's go to the questions. Right. Right, so I'm just going to go back, just bear with me so I can read some of these comments. Sam says, I have a layout written in HTML with CSS in... I have a layout written in HTML and style with CSS. My question is, can the Divi Builder combine the two files? Right, if your CSS is in the file that you've created, and I'm not sure what you mean by layout because a page layout has the .json extension. So did you create this layout using the way I've just shown, or it's just a page that you've just created? Now, if it's a page that you've just created and it has the CSS included in the file, then of course the Divi Builder will translate all of that correctly. But it's impossible, of course, to have a .css and a .html file at the same time. I'm sure I'm right in that. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but a .css file just styles the whole page, right? So that .css file will not have HTML in it. So the page that you have is a .html page, and then the CSS styles that whole page. And if you also have HTML in that page, let's say you have elements where you have divs or you have page headings, colors, whatever it is, that page will be translated when you drag it onto the builder. Right, okay. Technology Brain says, Divi, is it a free theme or plugin? Please explain. No, Divi is a premium theme. In fact, Daryl has answered that. So thanks, Daryl, for that. Yes, it's premium and it's paid for. So you have to buy this in order for you to get all these features. Great. Okay, I'm just going to check what's happening here on Facebook. Okay, looks like we don't have any questions. Right, so this is all I have for you today. So in fact, let me just go over the files that we need that work with this drag and drop feature. So it's the CSS, HTML, GIF, JPEG, PNG, text, TXT, OTF, TTF, AVI, M4V, MOV, WMV, MP4, MP3, WAV, and .json. Now, there's a few things here that you need to be aware of. First of all, if you're going to be uploading if you're going to be uploading video files onto the builder, you have to be very careful here because this might slow down your website because most of these hosting companies are not optimized for video hosting. So you got to make sure that you use very small video files if you're going to be doing that. But of course, the feature works. I'm just letting you know that if you upload, gigs and gigs of videos onto your website, this may really slow down your website because these hosting companies are not geared towards hosting videos. So you need to host it elsewhere like YouTube or Vimeo, and then, use the link to that video. And also, there's a file that I haven't demonstrated here, but let's say you want to add some fonts onto your builder. All you have to do is to load your TTF file, and that loads the file, the font file onto your fonts list. So this is another really cool feature. So you can go ahead and test that. What else do we have here? Images. Again, your images have to be optimized. By uploading all your images onto the builder does not make it automatically optimized. So you do need to optimize them in Photoshop, make sure it's the right size, make sure it's cropped, and then upload it onto your builder. Okay, so I'll just hang around here for a few minutes and see if we have any questions. Yes, Toran, that's really cool. Best to use a still from the video and then provide a direct link to YouTube. Yes, that's the best way you would use this video. Of course, yeah, the feature is there, but you just have to be pretty much careful with that. So we don't want to slow down your computer. Prometheus says, Mac, I've just started with Divi. What path would you recommend to learn the ins and outs? Right, so we have a lot of resources on our documentation where you can learn what each module does. In fact, let me show you quickly how to get started. So I'm just going to switch over here to my desktop. Right, so let's say you go into a module, and this could be, any module for that matter. So what you need to do is to look for this question mark here, the help question mark. So what that help question mark does is it has videos which explain what each module does. So for example, here we're in the text module. So if you click this video here, it goes through and tells you, how to use the text module. And for this particular one, we have 3 videos. So you can watch these 3 videos and you will definitely know what that module does. Okay, so that's the text module. So let's say you want to learn more about the sections. So each and every item that we have here, whether it's a module, a section, a row, they all have videos. So over here on the section settings, again, if you click on this help, it gives you an introduction to sections and tells you all about how to use that. Right. So that's one way of really getting up to speed with learning how to use Divi. We also have tutorials that we do more or less every day, where we use the Divi Builder, and this is on the Elegant Themes YouTube channel. So if you go over there, there's a ton of videos which you can watch, and this will get you up to speed with learning how to use Divi. And also on Facebook, we also have a Facebook page. You can go over there and find all these videos. And outside the Elegant Themes resources, there's also a ton of videos out there on YouTube which have covered quite a lot of things. I mean, I also have some videos on my YouTube channels, and there's also other YouTubers that have created a lot of videos on how to use Divi. So that's the fastest way of learning Divi. Okay, let's take a look here. Right, we have a question here from Uncle Social saying, does the dragging and dropping images into the Divi bypass the WordPress media library upload? Right, that's a very, very good question. Actually, I didn't even double check that. So let's see how that would work. So I'm going to switch over here to my desktop and let's try that. So what I need to do is to use an image that I haven't used before. So I'm going to go to Pexels. Right, what image can we use? Right, let's go with this one here. We're going to choose a small size. Download. Okay, so that image now has been downloaded. So let's go onto our builder now and see what happens when we load that image. Okay, so this is the image right here in my downloads folder. I'm going to drag it onto the builder. Close this. Right, so my image now has been added onto my layout. So let's save this and open this in a new tab. In fact, I have to publish this page and then check the media library and see if the file is there. Okay, so now that everything is saved, I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. And then I'm going to go to my library. There we go. So it doesn't, we can see here, it doesn't bypass it. So my image is in the actual media library. So I think that's really cool. That was a very, very good question. In fact, you got me nervous there because I thought you put me on the spot because I hadn't tried this, you see. But that's a very, very good question. And yes, it does get added onto the media library. Excellent. Okay, so Uncle Social, I hope that answers this. So all the plugins like Smush It will definitely work because all these files will be in the media library. Awesome. Right, so I'm just going to check here on Facebook and see if we have any questions. Okay, so no questions on Facebook. Okay, so if you're just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. We broadcast every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. So this is a show where we cover the latest features. We go into detail and show you the ins and outs of these features and also show you how you can apply this in your design workflow. So we also answer some questions. So if you have any questions regarding that particular feature, this is the show where you can, ask your questions and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. Today, we were taking a look at drag and drop file upload for Divi. This is a feature which was released last week. And this is really, really cool because it enables you to work really, really fast by just dragging and dropping all your files onto the builder. So the files that are that work with this builder, there's quite a lot of them. There's CSS, HTML, JPEG, PNG, text, OTF, TTF, AVI, M4V, MP4, MP3, WAV, and JSON files. So this is a great feature, and I would suggest that you go ahead, update your Divi Builder to the latest version, and this will give you this update definitely. All right, so I guess this is the end of the show. We don't have any more questions. So I'd like to say to everyone that joined me on today's live stream, thank you very much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Join me again next Monday as I talk about another feature here on Elegant Themes channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.